Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I still don't have my voice completely back, but it's better. I'm feeling fine. I've seen quite a few posts about the bad thing coming out of GenCon this year. I don't seem to have that problem. I'm not saying it's not a thing. I'm just saying I'm personally unafflicted by it. Um, so yesterday we talked about the games and the the games that I bought and the games that I played, which is I played games. That's not a very normal thing for me to do, especially at Gen Con in years past. For the early years, this was 10 years with Portal Games. From the early years, I would run the booth and then go to the demo hall and run demos all night. And then at least one or two nights a week, Ignacy would have some sort of seminar we'd have to go to. So there was very little time to play games, and by the end of all of that, I was so exhausted I wasn't capable of playing games. This year, we just had the booth. Ruben is a friend of the company he does demos for lots of people, and I get him, we give him games and he goes and runs demos. Fantastic. Love it. Great. We've also, in the years past, used double exposure for that, which is huge because there was one year, I think it was 2015 when Rattle Battle came out. Is that correct? I'm not sure. Somebody fact check me. It was me and Rafal, and we were the only two people that Ignacy trusted to demo the game because it was kind of like, it was a game where you needed to guide people into enjoying the game. I still love the game. It has not stood the test of time, but I think it's a cute little game, and so we were running the booth and then immediately going to the playtest or the demo space and running demos until like 11 p.m. That's untenable. Just can't do it. So this year, whatever. So then we went through some periods with other people kind of running the show, and now it's back on me to run the show. And this year it was just me and our volunteers. Our volunteers are all fantastic. I could only take 3 this year, which kind of hurt. We shrunk our booth a little bit. We used to have a 20 by 20, which is 4 booths. We are down to 10 by 20, which, by the way, in case you're curious about all this, a 10 by 20 cost me $4,000. So $4,000 just to set up a little space, right? That's cost number one. So we only brought 3 volunteers. I intended to have a single demo table and then my sales area. I ended up having 2. We ended up not having any sit-down demos. AI Space Puzzle is a little thing. We had 2 stand-up tables and then stacks of games. So the goal was to give people a break. It's a lot to ask somebody to stand there for 8 hours and sell your product. So go do stuff. Go see the hall, whatever. And so I told them, you don't have to hang out here. Go see stuff. Take breaks, please. I'm not going to, because I didn't. Very rarely did I get away from the booth I'm going to go make a meeting, whatever. Left somebody in charge of the cash register and just took off. Cash register being a tablet. So hotel rooms were $2,500. So we're at $6,500 just for convention space, floor space, and hotel space. Yep. We also have travel and food costs. That's about another, say, $1,000, maybe a little more than that, but we'll say about $1,000. So we're at $7,500. Inbound freight. I don't know what it cost us to ship our products from Florida to Indianapolis. That was handled by our warehouse partner. We have a partner that does all of our warehousing and fulfillment. They did kind of a group shipping for all of their vendors to get up there. So I'm sure it didn't cost me a ton, but I can tell you, I had to pay Fern $3,600, or let's say $3,500 for the ease of math, to bring my product from the dock to my booth. Technically, to their warehouse. Then they put it on a truck and brought it over. But whatever, $3,500. So now we're at $11,000 to even start selling. Plus whatever the freight to the show cost. Plus whatever the freight after the show cost. I haven't received my final bill from Fern. I had to use them to ship my products back to Florida. I'm guessing that's going to be another $4,000. So I'm at least $15,500, $15,000 plus whatever it cost me to get my products there. Say 600, say 1,000. That's $16,000 to attend this show. That's a lot. That's not counting my time, my expense. That's not counting badges. We had to buy badges. You know, there's other little things. But so let's round it off. Let's say let's call it $18,000. That's probably about right. In the past we've had more volunteers, and I've estimated it to be about 20 grand. So the cost has stayed pretty consistent over the years. And I will say that in the years that I've been doing this, we've broke even one time. We almost universally lose money doing this. But it's an amazing way to get our products in front of people who want to play our games and who will be vocal about playing our games. It's a really good experience for that. And I think we succeeded this year. AI Space Puzzle was really high on the BGG hotness list. It was in the top 10 games of games that were checked out in the BGG hot room. It was like, I think it came in at like 6th, but like 3rd through 7th or 8th were all like 51, 52, 53, like 50 something ish plays. So it was kind of tied for like 3rd. I mean, whatever. It was checked out a lot. It was played a lot. It was talked about a lot. There was a rush the first day. But that's the thing. I had plenty. I took 450 copies. We sold less than 200. So I had to ship all that back. We've never sold more than 250 of anything at GenCon. So, but then there's booths that have limited quantities who are selling 50 a day. They're going to sell their 200 and do just fine, right? And so the day one, we had a little bit of a rush on Thursday. Thursday ended up being our strongest day, which was strange. Sunday ended up being our second strongest day, which is also strange. It's usually Saturday. Saturday was probably our weakest day. I don't know why this year Saturday was so weird. Talking to all of my friends, that seemed to be the way it was. They all agreed that Thursday and Sunday were their better days, unless they were sold out of product, obviously. Lots of people sell out of product because they don't take very much. We've done that in the past. Take like 150 of something, sell out in day one, and then you're standing there for the rest of the show. But it sounds good that you sold out. I sold out of Imperial Miners this year because I only took a few copies. Did not sell out of AI Space Puzzle. Wasn't going to. And it's one of those games you play. Do you take enough to fulfill demand, or do you take a limited quantity, announce that it's a limited quantity, and then like inspire some sort of false marketing campaign around scarcity? I saw that in very strange ways this year. For instance, there was a line at Comic Hunters every day. It was wild to me. I can go to Barnes & Noble right now and buy that game. It's readily available. It was not a new release. That doesn't make sense to me. There was a line for Lorcana. There was nothing there. I guess there was a line for the Lorcana promos. Ravensburger's line again was out in the main hall. Just it started there and came through. Promos, sure. One thing I love about the game that they've made the decision to do is to never release unique promos. They're just the regular cards with a foil stamp on it, which means I can completely ignore it because I don't collect it. I don't have FOMO and whatever. If it was a unique card, that would be a different story. I think that'd be a little bit messed up to have these crazy lines. But, So overall, I think we had a really great show. I had a really good team. I got to spend some quality downtime with people. Thursday or Wednesday night, we had the Lucky Duck party. It was really fantastic. A room full of influencers, one of which I am not, but I got to hang out with them anyway and build some Legos and play some games. That was fun. Played bingo. That's where I got nestlings. Thursday night is always a blast at the Rolling Dice and Taking Names Strike Tournament. It's a wonderful event every year, and it's another chance to hang out with some wonderful people, most of whom I interact with on the Rolling Dice and Taking Names Discord channel from time to time. Friday was just chill and play games with friends. You know, we got a room and played some game. No, was Friday the night I took off? Thursday might have been the night we hung out at the Hyatt and played games, maybe. Or maybe that was Friday. I don't remember. Saturday, we have our annual GenCon hangout with friends. That's kind of just a bunch of industry people that get together and hang out. We don't do anything special. It's literally in the main gaming hall. We get a table. We go to the staff and get a table and then just set up. So it's not like it's an exclusive club. It's an open invite for pretty much anybody. But we have a core group of people that get invited, and let's organize this thing. That's fun. You know, and it was just it was a good experience. I'm exhausted still. I'm having a hard time staying awake. I haven't slept great for a whole week now, but man, great year. It felt wonderful to be back. You know, we took last year off, and that was really weird for me because I haven't taken years off from Gen Con since '96. So it was a very strange thing to be away from, but I'm really, really happy. And we're going to do it again next year. We will be. I've already rebooked next year, so we're going, darn it. And we'll have to maybe try to do some things a little bit differently so I'm not losing as much money. Maybe we can make money for once. I don't know. We shall see. But for all of you who came to say hi at the booth and talk and whatever, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have received some inspirations that I was not expecting to receive from that experience. So I appreciate you all for that, and I'll tell those stories later this week. Any questions about Gen Con or what it's like to exhibit or what it's like to be a publisher at a show like that? Drop it in the comments, and I will get back to you as always. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is xiphoid. It's an adjective meaning shaped like a sword. We can only spot Carlson's private plane because it is covered with the same xiphoid shapes that adorn his family's crest. Xiphoid, Xiphoid. Are they not just all phallic shapes? Is the cross a xiphoid?